Welcome to Student Government Day 2014. We're very excited to have you all here, and we have over 40 students that are very excited to go off and explore the town of Holbrook today. So if I could have Isabel O'Connor, who is our Student Council President from South School, up to the podium. She has a few words she'd like to say.
Welcome to the 2014 Student Government Day. This year is very exciting because we have class officers from the freshman and senior class attending and helping out. South School is welcoming Ms. Callahan back as interim principal of the JFK, and we are welcoming Mr. O'Brien, Holbrook Senior High School principal, to his first Student Government Day in Holbrook. On behalf of Student Council, I would like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy day to mentor us in what it takes to keep the town of Holbrook running. Now please rise for pledge of allegiance. Caleb Tobin and Jake Stewart will now say the pledge of allegiance.
Ava and Carrietta will now sing the national anthem. So Ava and Carrietta, please come out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched were so gallantly and the rocket's red black, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Now welcome our principal, Ms. Stevens.
One.
Now we'd like to welcome our principal, Ms. Stevens, as her first year of principal for Student Government Day.
Good morning. As you can see, the students are very excited for today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mallory Stevens, and I am the principal at the South School. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to South School's 27th Student Government Day. Today is a day designed to inform and educate students about state government and allow students to participate in the role of elected or appointed officials to observe the processes of government. Today, students will have the unique opportunity to learn firsthand about our town and state government. At the same time, this day allows all of our dignitaries time to educate our students about the role they play within our district's school, town, and state government. Later this morning, students will participate in a mock town meeting, and it is my hope that they will be able to exchange views and experiences with their peers about their experience today. Just as important, Today is also a day that teaches our students how to become active citizens within the community. So at this time, I'd like to address the students in the back. What does it mean to be an active citizen? In my opinion, I've thought about this for a while. The definition is pretty simple. An active citizen is simply someone who cares about their community. Being an active citizen involves supporting your local community and beyond in any way you can. Perhaps the easiest way for you to be an active citizen in Holbrook is to continue to stay involved within our school and seek out other opportunities to volunteer. When you dedicate your time and effort to an organization or a cause that you feel strongly about, the feeling of fulfillment will be endless. Volunteering can be one of the best ways there is for you to become engaged in your community and to get to know people. As someone once said, I hope that you will always believe that you can make a difference, because it's the smallest things you can do that can lead to the biggest change. I'd like to extend my own personal gratitude to all the dignitaries who volunteer their time today to teach our students about the different roles within our town government. It is Holbrook's district mission to prepare all students to become responsible and contributing members of a diverse and global society. And today is one small step in achieving this mission with the students who sit here today. So I will leave the students with one last thought before they go off today. An anonymous person once said, "Nobody can do everything, but everyone can do something." Enjoy your day, and I'd like to now introduce Holbrook's Town Clerk, Jean Marie Tarara, who will conduct the official swearing-in ceremony of our student officials for the day.
At this time, I'd like to call the students by table to come up. So that first table, come on up. And just a few notes. When you go to the Mocktown meeting today, it's going to be held in the new selectmen's office. So if you go in the door where the old fire station used to be, that first door, and you can take either the elevator or the stairs up to the new selectmen's office. Those of you at the second table, you can come on up. And the third table. Okay, okay. Stay right here. Where are you going? Stay right there.
Are we all saying it's separate? No.
Let's stand in front of the group. Now,
Okay, I hope you're all ready. We reverse this, right? Remember, you're going to put your name where we say I, and then you're going to put the position that you're holding where it says student in the position, okay? Everybody ready? A duly appointed student.
I will honestly and faithfully discharge my duties in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by laws of the town of Holbrook.
What a great job. Better than anybody I've ever sworn in before. Congratulations. And I'd like to thank the Rotary for sponsoring this program for us, and all of the dignitaries who've shown up to help us teach the children what we do for a living. Thank you, everybody.
now I'm going to call the students and who they have. So as I call your name, you can take your students. So first, Dr. Lally has Isabel O'Connor and Annie Wynn. So you can go down to Dr. Lally. Randolph Savings Bank, Ms. Cummings is Brooke Walker and Ryan Woodford. Mr. Balcher, who's the facilities director and the athletic director, is Jake Stewart and Dominic Generazzo. Mrs. Stevens is Emma Curtis and Sarah Joe. Mrs. Hamilton is Carrietta and Ava Gavin. Mrs. DeMonica is Caitlin McCarthy and Sam Cull. The Holbrook Cooperative Bank is Emma Parker and Lydia Lunt. Ms. Clifton, Director of the Holbrook Public Library, is Morgan Welsh and Chrissy Berrio, right there. Mrs. Orlando is, her students are going with Mrs. Ferrara, Ava Massoni, and Olivia McNeil, so you can stand with Mrs. Ferrara. Mrs. Bowers and Mrs. Sullivan, Sarah Sullivan and Hannah Altor, right there. Steve. Mrs. Gordon is Natalie Holbrook. Barbara Davis is Megan Bayo and Mia Matos. Mrs. Davis, right there. Mrs. Callahan is Brooke DeBona and Hallie Baldwin. Mrs. Callahan is down there. For the post office is Kara McFadden and Lauren Lynch. And for the high school cafeteria, with Mr. Watson who's not here today, Ethan Mann and Zach Christian, you are going with Mrs. Roach. With Mr. Gordon is Bridget Moore and Marissa Todd. With Mr. Moriarty is Duran Jean-Baptiste and Aiden DeMarco. With Mr. Ecord is Brian Moss and Brady O'Connell. With Mr. McFadden is Jack Poppinger and Jack Dove. And I'm sorry you have two Jacks. But you'll love them. They're awesome.
To remember the name.
With Mr. Smith is Nick Mercuprio and Robert O'Brien. With Mr. Sheehan is Aiden McFadden and Dylan Anastasio. And with Mr. DiGiolamo is Anthony Graziano and Caleb Tobin.
Oh, Mark's son.
With Mr. O'Brien, the principal of the high school, is Mia Pierce and Joe McLaughlin. And with helping out the student council advisor is Jessica Malloy. So everybody has someone, so that's great. So you're all dismissed.
Car crash, you have one on the
Good work.
928.
Good work. Now we go.
There are no minutes. There is no old business to cover. Now our town administrator will give us his report.
Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time giving a report. I'm the acting town administrator. I'm not a student, but I am the acting town administrator for purposes of today. We had a real exciting day today. A lot of the students from the South School learned a lot, I suspect, and the only report I have is to report on Student Government Day, and I'm looking forward to hearing reports from the students that were participating in today. So back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and welcome to our new meeting room in Town Hall. Will the superintendent please go to the stand to give us an update on the pre-K grade 12 school project?
So for the pre-K through 12 update, we've found out new separation ways, as in we'll have two different entrances, one for pre-K to 5th grade and one for 6th to 12th. We'll be getting in at different times, and there will be different wings for different grades.
There will also be a different gym area and a different cafeteria, so we won't really interfere with each other.
We have one question for you. What is the bus line going to be like? For like are they going to be separated?
They will be separated because they'll still be getting in at different times.
Thank you. We will ask the town departments to come up and give some updates. Will the DPW director please go to the stand to give us an update?
I got to ride in a, what's it called? Front end loader. I got to steer it around and I got to pick up dirt with it. And I got to ride in a sweeper. Road sweepers. Got to sweep some roads.
We have one question for you. How much money does it cost to pave a mile of road?
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will the fire chief please go to the stand and give us an update?
We put up a ladder and we went inside an ambulance and saw the stuff in it. And we went to St. Joe's and we did like this little presentation for kindergarten or preschoolers. And that's it.
We have two questions for you guys. How many people go on the fire truck to go to an emergency?
I have no idea.
And then the other question, how many gallons of water does it take to put out a fire?
We don't know, but it has about
Okay. Will the librarian please go to stand to give us an update?
So today me and Morgan helped little kids by making this. So also we read out loud to them, which helped teach early literacy and helped the librarians with books. We got to go
downstairs and see all the new constructions and the new stuff to get you comfortable and spots for phones and stuff.
So you can say that we were mini librarians. Thank you. We had a great time. We are so thankful, and hopefully we can see you again. Sincerely, Morgan and Chrissy.
We have one question. Okay. How many books do you bring? Like, how many books does the library bring in a month? It depends on how many we order.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you planning to build at the library?
An elevator.
Okay.
An elevator.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Will the treasurer's office please go to the stand and give us an update? It's you.
Today we took a tour of town hall and we learned how to count the money and do all the bills. Yeah.
Okay. We have one question for you guys. How much money do you invest in a year?
You can come over and consult with the expert.
$2 million every month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Will the Holbrook Cooperative Bank please go to the stand and give us an update?
Today we took a tour of the bank. We learned how they count the money, and we learned how they open a bank account. That's it.
Okay, we have one question for you. Where do you store people's money?
In the main vault.
Thank you. Thanks.
Will the police chief please go to the stand and give us an update?
So today we got our fingers scanned. We did the breathalyzer. We got to see the canine dog. We got to see the chief's office, and we got to see where they keep some of the people that they bring to the police to the jail cells, and we got to see. Hold on. We got to see the armory, and that's it. No questions?
Will the town clerk please go to the stand?
So we learned about the marriage book, the birth books, the death books. We learned about the meeting books. We got a tour of the town hall. We saw where the mailboxes were, and we saw where my mom's old office was. We also saw my mom's boss's office. We got to make birth certificates, which I have mine right here. We sealed the birth certificates. We got to see the dogs, my dogs, in the dog computer. We saw the old meeting room. We saw this meeting room. We saw the state computers. We used a typewriter, which I typed something. I saw the ballroom. Went into the meeting. We went into the meeting book room, and we saw a big open safe that was up to the roof. We saw the safe for the different things. We got to see the different stamps with her name and the date on it, and we saw different election things, and me and Kayla had a blast being the Hobart Town Clerk. Thank you, Mrs. Tara.
I learned that they have a special computer called a dog computer, and it's to see if your dog is licensed. And that's it.
How long does it take to make a birth certificate?
To make them, well, they need it, well, I don't really know how long it is, but we know kind of like the process. So,
What's the process?
the process is they have these books with the date, 2004, 2005. You open it up and it's by date, and then
You find which one you need.
and then you take it out, and you also take this piece of paper that, a small piece about this big, and you need that to show when it was made. Then you print it, then you print it onto the piece of paper that you have. And
After you seal it.
yes. And then you seal it with a stamp. And then that's it.
Thank you. Okay. Will the Council on Aging please go to the stand?
Today we learned in the council that elderly people go there. It's from the church across the street into that street, and it looks like a house. It was where the bank, the Holbrook Bank, used to, some of the clients used to go there and work there. And then Connie Orlando, she wanted to make an elderly place for elderly people for like different days for events. And they sold it to her for $1, and that's how it came to be. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Who's Connie Orlando?
She's the person who the bank, she wanted to buy the house from the bank, and the bank gave her $1 to buy it from that, so she owns it now.
Okay, thank you. The building reps, please come to the stand, yeah.
So we went to the Grove today, and we saw that there was a big house being built down there, and we learned that there are, in the past 20 years, there's been 200 houses built in Holbrook, and that there is a old house down kind of off of Cedar Hill that is being destroyed because of tons of raccoons, and a tree fell on top of it. And
How long does it take to build a house?
around a year, I guess, or 2 years or something. I don't really know.
Okay. Thank you. Will the Housing Authority please go to the stand?
Today I learned about the waiting list, and I took a tour. And we also got 3 registered people to vote. We got 3.
For the new school?
Yeah.
How many people can live there?
I don't know. 84. What? 84. Oh, 84.
Thank you. Will the Randolph Savings Bank please go to stand?
So we learned how to cash a check into the computer, and we learned how like the drive-through works, and we got to see the vault, and we got to tour the bank.
Will the post office please go to stand? We will go back to that. Will the sheriff's office go to stand? Will the building maintenance please go to stand? Oh, look, they're here.
So today we went to the John F. Kennedy School to fix a leak. Then we went to the Holbrook High School, and we did chores around there. We walked around. We went to his office. There was another week there. We were gonna fix, but we didn't. Then we went to the football field, and they were spray painting it pink for Breast Cancer Month. And then we had to go around and deliver boxes. Then we had to sort socks for Breast Cancer Month. Then we went to the field when they were done spray painting it, and that's it.
Thank you. Will the post office go to the campus?
We went around and we put mail into little cubbies. Then we helped some people at the counter.
We helped sort mail into different spots. We learned how to track the different mail trucks, and we learned how to put mail into the different boxes when they're going out.
How much mail do you carry a day?
We go to 400 to 500 houses a day.
How many letters or packages do you send in a year?
We don't know that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is there anybody that we missed? Yes. Okay. Schools, the high schools? The high school principal? Yeah, the high school principal.
What we learned today is how to be a principal in the Holbrook Junior Senior High School. We were making a hypothesis on the MCAS, the MCAS scores through the District of Holbrook and the state of Massachusetts.
Today I learned that Mr. O'Brien wants every day to be wants the teachers and kids to wake up like it's a field trip day.
Okay, what's the highest MCAS score?
The highest MCAS score?
For grade 10, there were 91
people in
the district that were going higher than
the highest
proficient.
rate. Like 99.
Thank you. The South School principal, who's supposed to speak?
So today we assisted Mrs. Stevens as the principal of the South School. We checked all classrooms to see if they all had crisis handbooks and room keys. We had a lot of fun seeing our former teachers and seeing how the classrooms have changed. We even conducted a walkthrough of our former fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Richards.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who missed? JFK. JFK.
Today at the JFK, we got to be principals and we visited different teachers in preschool through 3rd grade. We said hi to our former teachers and then we went walkthroughs to see what they were teaching to the other kids. And we also learned what we have to do if we're a principal.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you. Will the school committee please go to stand?
Okay, so what we learned that Miss Davis, she's basically she's in charge of the people that are in charge of a lot of things, and she gets to like sometimes she gets to work on things for the new school, and she gets to we got to go to the JFK, saw our favorite teachers, and then we got to go to the Holbrook High, and we got to see some classrooms and a magic trick, and yeah, so
What was the magic trick?
so since it's Black Wednesday, he had a tuxedo and it was made out of duct tape, so it was pretty awesome. And well, he did a card trick, and it. Wait, you want to tell? Oh, okay. He said pick a card, any card. So we picked a card. Then he said I might not be right, but he picked the first 5, and we saw that 8 of Hearts was our card. So then he laid him out flat, and then there was one that was flipped over on the side with all the pictures on it, not the number, and that was the card. Okay, so we also got to go to a science classroom. I believe the teacher is called Mr. Welch. I'm not sure. And we saw these little turtles, and they're in danger, and they were their experiment is to see them I think how they grow, and they also had this water thing that kind of looks like a submarine, kind of. So. Thank you.
Will the Historical Society please go to stand?
Today we learned about a quilt that was made by everyone. So there was these ladies who quilted them by hand. They all have a story behind them, and they have pictures of things that happened back then.
And we
went into the office for the Historical Society, and there was like a bunch of maps and all the pictures that we looked at and everything.
Can you describe your favorite, like, quilt square?
All the quilt squares had, they had sometimes people making American flags and people knitting and pictures of horses and how to buy horses.
Thank you. Thank you. Will the STEAM coordination take with us?
Today we got to go to the high school, and we got to see like snakes and what the older kids were learning and stuff. And we went to the JFK, and we got to see our former teachers and stuff. So
And we got to see relatives.
yeah.
What was your, what kind of snakes were there?
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. Will the assistant superintendent please go to
Today we were the assistant superintendents. We started out our day at the South School preparing for the afternoon activities, and then we went to the junior senior high school where we toured the 7th grade wing. On our tour, we also met the junior senior high school principal, Mr. O'Brien, the school guidance counselor, the school librarian, and the school nurse.
Next, we helped carry boxes of curriculum materials to the central office building so they could be shipped to buildings and classrooms, and helped prepare for math bingo night at South School by sorting prizes. Finally, we headed to the JFK School to tour the new library that is being built and delivered some supplies for Mrs. Golden.
Are the sheriff's people here still?
I don't believe so.
Is there anybody you missed?
Madam Chairwoman and Selectman Moore, since they all had an opportunity to explain what they did today, perhaps you two could share with them what you did today, besides prep for a meeting.
I like how you got a tour of the town hall and all like the different places on how people there's so many offices and I learned how so many people did so many different things in town hall. We got to tour around the whole place, town hall. We got to go upstairs and see this ballroom type theater place, which is being fixed and stuff. We also got to go into I don't know what it was, but we got to see our houses from different points of view, and we also went to Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, that's all.
Keep going, meeting's not over.
Okay. So anyone who has
the most anticipated days of the year as far as the students go, and we just would really like to thank you all for taking the time to come, and also to Senator Keenan for coming and speaking to the students. And we have the whole 6th grade, as the 6th grade has been involved in a civic education project all year, so we'd like to thank everybody. Would also like to thank the kitchen for putting on such a spectacular breakfast and luncheon for us. We'd like to thank all the teachers who have been so supportive of their day being a little disruptive, and to Mr. Karalexis for allowing the high school students to participate and run your gym class for you. So thank you very much for your support. And we'd like a big round of applause for Mrs. Tarara and the Rotary for sponsoring this event and making this possible. And as always, we'd like to thank administration, Dr. Lally, Mrs. Stevens, Mrs. Hamilton, and everybody else involved in the Holbrook Public Schools. You're always so supportive of our projects. The school committee is always so interested in our civics club coming and bouncing our ideas off of you for what we want to do for a project. So we'd just like to thank you for your support of the students of Holbrook. And with that, I would like to also give a big shout out to the high school freshman and senior class officers. Guys, stand up. Stand up. They were so helpful all day. They went around to every classroom and gave motivational speeches to the students about how important it is to get involved in your civic education and extracurricular activities and school spirit, and how much more it enhances your education. And they were awesome. We really appreciate having you with us, and we're looking forward to, in the future, maybe some of you coming back down and talking to students at another time and giving them the same motivation that these guys did. At this time, I'd like to call the senior class president, Carmen Nguyen, to come up here and give a few thoughts just about the day.
It's my great pleasure to be back at the South School for Student Government Day. I speak for all of my fellow class officers in saying that becoming involved in student government, clubs, and sports is just as important as doing homework and studying for tests. When you enter high school, there are so many opportunities to become involved in many different activities. You have already laid the foundation by becoming student council and civics club members. As a senior, I'm very happy to be part of making great memories at the South School. Thank you.
And now I'd like to call Wayne Lounge up, who is the freshman class president, for a few thoughts.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for letting us be able to do student government. It means a lot to know that you guys are helping mentor the students and let them know what student government is about. Thank you.
And with that, I would like to introduce Senator John Keenan. He has Senator Keenan has always been very supportive of Holbrook Public Schools, and particularly the 6th grade civics club. Many of those students from the high school sitting there have had tours of the State House with you over the years, and we're very thankful that you came to us today.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the tour. Where'd the tour guides go? I know they're scattered around. Thank you for the nice tour this morning. That was very nice. I got to see the school again, which is always exciting. You got to go into the classrooms and see what the students are working on. And I have to tell you, it's pretty impressive. Astrophysics in one classroom. That's pretty good stuff. So thank you for having me here. What I thought I'd do is just to tell you a little bit about why it's important that you do this and that you get involved. First off, Holbrook is unique. What you do with this program, I don't think goes on anywhere else in the state. This is such a great program to get all of you involved, understanding government, to teach you that there is a role for you to play as you get older in government. So I want to thank everybody who worked so hard on this, Mary, everybody, to make Holbrook so unique in offering this program and really teaching the children the importance of getting involved in government. So thank you all very much. Holbrook's a pretty special place because of it. Don't know, why is it important? I know you've been working on voter registration. Is that something you've been having as a project? It's very important. What voter registration is that you go to town hall and you register to vote. You can't do it yet because you're a little young. But your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your older brothers and sisters, it's important that they register to vote. I'm elected by, eventually you hopefully if I get reelected, but I've been elected by your parents and your aunts and uncles and your neighbors and all that. And so I know that when I vote on something at the State House, I have to keep in mind those people who vote for me. They vote for me to represent them. And it's very important that they do that because I have 5 communities. I have Quincy, which is a big city. I represent Braintree, Rockland, Abington, and then of course Holbrook. Now, Quincy's big. There's a lot of people who live in Quincy. And there's a lot of people who vote in Quincy. And there's people in Quincy who would say, we want you just to represent us. We're more important because we have more people. I don't think that's the case. It's equally important. But for me to hear that message, to know what Holbrook thinks, people have to register to vote and they have to go out to vote. If they don't vote, I don't know what they're thinking. If they're not involved, if they don't get involved in the schools, they don't get involved in their community, I don't know what they're thinking, and it makes it very difficult for me to represent them. It's easy for me to represent the people of Holbrook when they're active, when they're involved, when I know what they're thinking, when they reach out to me, when they send me letters, they call me on the phone, or when all of you come to the State House and visit and you ask questions. That's very, very helpful to me as a state senator. Now, when you look at voting, we find ourselves in this country with a little bit of a problem. Not a lot of people vote, if you can believe that. And I know you've had history class. I know you've learned some things about American history. And I remember I went to the Wollaston School in Quincy, and I went to Wollaston School in 1976. I don't know if you know why that was an important year in our nation's history. That was the bicentennial year. Our country was 200 years old in 1976. And I was in the 5th grade at the time. And I remember doing the play. Anybody ever hear the play, 1776? No. Well, it's a musical play about John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, all of them who were involved in separating the United States from Britain and writing the Declaration of Independence. And I remember in 5th grade being in that play, and that stuck with me for the rest of my life. I also read a book, my favorite book of all time. Has anybody ever read the book Johnny Tremain? No. Anybody? A few hands back there. I recommend it. It is my all-time favorite book. And it's about a boy growing up in Boston during the Revolution. So when you go back and you look at that, and you look at what people did in order for our country to be free, in order to make the United States, people died. People from Holbrook. They went out to their barns, they went out to their sheds, they got their hunting rifles, they got whatever weapons they could, and off they went to fight on behalf of what would become the United States of America. So a lot of them gave their lives, and as the saying goes, they gave their fortunes, they gave their properties, they gave so much so that we'd have America. And ever since then, we've had people who have lost their lives in wars here in the United States and all over the world to keep this country free. Some of them were your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. They sacrificed so much so that we could be America, land of the free. We can't take it for granted. We're a special country, but we're only going to stay special if people register to vote and then they vote. You know, hopefully we never have to fight a war again here in this country, and hopefully we won't have wars across the world that affect us. And the best way to make sure that that happens, or to at least kind of safeguard against that happening, is to get involved, vote, make your opinions known. If you don't vote, you're leaving government to make decisions, and those decisions will be affected by just so few people. I'll give you an example. Let's say we want to talk about new schools in Holbrook. Okay? Pretty good topic. It's a pretty hot topic in town, right? Well, what happens if people don't go out to vote? Let's say people really, really want the schools. They want a new school. They want a new K through 12 school. Let's say they can't believe how badly they want it. But what's going to happen if they don't go out and vote for it? It's not going to happen. And let's say some people don't think it should happen for whatever reason. What if they don't go out and vote? We're never going to know what they think. So that's something that's going to affect all of you for the rest of your lives, because what you're going to learn in those schools, what you're going to learn from your teachers, what you're going to learn in that building, if it happens, is going to affect you for the rest of your life. And there's all kinds of examples like that, not just here in Holbrook, but even across Massachusetts. Let me see. Trying to think of something that we passed just recently at the State House. A budget. We passed a budget last June. Everybody know what the budget is? We get tax dollars from people who pay taxes, and then we decide how to spend it. It's about, well, I'll call it $35 billion. That's a lot of money. Now, if you don't let us know what's important to you, if you don't let us know how you think we should spend the money, we're just going to spend it however we think is appropriate. So it's important that you let us know. As you get older, you might say, hey, you know what, I'm tired of driving on that bumpy road. I want to make sure you spend some money to fix that bumpy road. Hey, you know what, in town, it's very important that we have a good police department, that we have a good fire department. We want to make sure that you spend some money on police and fire and ambulance service, because that's important in town. We want to make sure that when we turn on the faucet at home, that clean water comes out. That's important. So we want to make sure that you know that we think that's important and that you should spend money on that. If you don't speak up by voting, we don't know that. And I may lose out on trying to get something for Holbrook because people in another town maybe vote more. People maybe out in Western Mass vote more, and their state senator says, oh, I've got people who really vote. I'm going to push hard for this. I know they want this. So it's really, really important that you vote when you come of age, and that you convince your parents and your neighbors and your aunts and uncles and your grandparents to vote. And then just quickly, beyond voting, it's very important to do what you're learning right here at this school, and that's to get involved. You go to class, you pay attention, you learn, you do your homework, you learn, but there's so much more to do. You can be in the drama club, the civics club, you can be on a sports team, you can do all those things. You should do them. One, it makes school more fun, because with your friends for even longer period of time. Two, you're either exercising your body if you're playing a sport, or you're exercising your mind if you're in one of those other clubs. And you'll learn that being involved is a lot of fun. And it doesn't end after you get out of high school. When you go to college, get involved. If you go to work, where you work, get involved beyond what you do, just the job, get involved. And when you become a resident, a homeowner here in Holbrook, get involved. It makes it more fun. You meet people. You get to know people. You get to do a lot of different activities. And just as it's great in school, you keep those lessons with you you realize it's great when you get older. And your town, Holbrook, a great town, will get even better because you're involved, because you show that you love it and you want to make it better. And that's why we have people here who work in the schools, who work in the fire department, the police department, who work in the clerk's office, who work at town hall. They do it because it's a job, but they also do it because they love it and they love the town. And we're all very lucky that they do it. So get out, convince people that they should vote, vote the way they believe, let them express what they think we should do, and then get involved. And if you do that, Holbrook will keep getting better. And it's pretty good right now, but it'll keep getting better. And all the towns that I represent will keep getting better. And Massachusetts will keep getting better. And the United States will keep getting better. And if we get better, I think the whole world gets better. But believe it or not, it does start right here with all of you. So you have fun, you learn, you get involved, and the world becomes a better place because you do it. So I guess that's the message. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Yes? You have to be 18 to vote. And now here's an interesting thing for you. Do you think you should be younger or older? Older? Some people think you should be younger, be able to vote younger. Now, at the State House, there is a bill. Somebody wants to make it a law to allow younger people to register to vote before they turn 18. And there's arguments for it, and there's arguments against it. But we're going to determine that based on what we hear from people. So if you think people should be able to register to vote when they're younger so that when they turn 18, right away they can vote in an election, or if you think people should have to be 18 in order to register, you should let us know. And we'll see how the votes go, and maybe people will be younger. So you have to be 18 right now, but you can perhaps register younger. Some cities are trying to do it. Up in Lowell, they're trying to get a whole project together where they can register to vote younger and even vote younger. But you have to get involved and let us know what you think is right. Any other questions? Nothing at all? I was Thomas Jefferson. Well, you say kind of ooh, but you know what? I had to sing in the play. And there's this line in the play where Mr. Adams, John Adams, keeps pushing Thomas Jefferson to write the Declaration of Independence. He thinks Thomas Jefferson should be the one who drafts the Declaration of Independence. And Thomas Jefferson in the play says, Mr. Adams, leave me alone. So I had to sing that. And it kind of went like, Mr. Adams, leave me alone. Pretty bad. So I don't sing really at all anymore because I learned 5th grade I didn't have that great of a voice. But yeah, so I get to play Thomas Jefferson. That was fun. And what I learned there has stayed with me my whole life. So something that I learned at the age that you are really got me interested in government. And you know, I always say I could do a lot of other things in my life, but government is the one that I just really, really enjoy. And I trace it back to 5th grade and my 5th grade teacher, Miss Casey, and getting us involved in all the activities of the Bicentennial. So think of what teachers can do in your life, how important they are, and think of how lucky you are to be in this school, in this town, to learn the things that you're learning. It's something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Anything else? There's a question. I'm sorry? The question, when you're 18, you become, you're a grown-up and you can do a lot of things. Well, it's interesting that you say that because some people kind of use that as a way to decide whether somebody should be able to vote earlier or later. At 18, for instance, you can go in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or the Marines, and some people are concerned that you can't do other things, despite the fact that you're old enough to do that. And some say that if you're going to be 18 to go into service, can you maybe vote before you go into the service, because you should have maybe a say in what the Army, the Navy, Air Force and the Marines are going to do. So that's a pretty interesting observation. Yes? Johnny Tremaine. It's about a boy who grows up in Boston while the revolution is starting. And Sam Adams is in it, and John Adams, and a great warrior named James Otis is a character in the book. It's written by Esther Forbes, and it won some awards. All-time favorite book. Question was, if they let little kids vote, what age would you have to be? That's, I guess, what we'd figure out. Yeah. Now, you can't vote right now, but you know what you can do? Tell people to vote, and then also kind of learn about things yourself, like the whole school issue. Think, how would I like to vote on that? And let somebody know how you would vote on it. Don't be afraid to let people know what your opinions are. Don't be afraid to let them know what's important to you. So even though you can't vote, you can influence it. And as you get older, you can influence a whole lot of different types of votes. By voting, by getting involved, by coming to the State House and letting us know what you think. Yes? Why is the law saying 18? Well, it's just kind of the way it's developed. Believe it or not that long ago, all right, I want all the girls in the room to raise their hands. Now you're excited about voting when you turn 18, right? You're excited about voting when you turn 18. Well, believe it or not, there was a time in this country where even when you were 18, even if you were 25, even if you were 50, you weren't allowed to vote. Can you believe that? Isn't that unbelievable? But because women thought that was wrong, and women thought they should have the right to vote, women made their opinions known, and they changed the law. And women can vote, as they should be able to. And they did that because they were involved, and they thought they could make a change, and they worked hard at it, and they got the vote as it should have been right from the very beginning. Anything else? A couple questions in the back. I don't know how much time, but whatever it takes. Sorry? Sorry? Question is, how old was I when I wanted to be the senator? Well, I have been the senator, I've just been the senator for 4 years. I'm 50 years old now, so I was 46. But because of what I learned when I was at Walson School in 5th grade, and what I learned at North Quincy High School when I was there, it was something that I always wanted to do. So when I was in high school, I used to go to city council meetings, believe it or not. I used to go to city council meetings and sit in the back row and watch what the city council was doing. And I first ran for office when I was 23 years old. I graduated from college, and I was in my first year of law school, and I decided to run for office. I didn't win. I lost. I lost my first election in 3rd grade. But I also lost an election when I was 23. So it's just something that I've always been interested in. So you don't have to wait till you're 46 years old to be a state senator or a state representative. Once you're old enough to vote, if you want to run for office because you think you can make a difference, run for office. Maybe wait a little while before you run for the state senate, if I'm still there, but you can run for office once you're 18, and I highly recommend it. How do you become senator? Well, you go out and you campaign. You say that you want to run, and then you go out and you try to convince people that they should vote for you. Now, when I go back to my 3rd grade election, I think the reason I lost that is because I had a kid who was working on my campaign who promised everybody that I'd bring in free lunches every day. And people didn't believe it. He was kind of out there kind of doing that without anybody's permission. So when you run for office, you have to tell people what it is you want to do, why you want to do it, how you want to make things better, how you want to make a difference, and why you think you're better than the other person that's running for office. Not that the other person running for office is a bad person, it's just that why you think your ideas or what you want to do is worthy of somebody voting for you. So you just have to go out and convince people. Last question, I guess. I had 2 from you, so I'm going to take one down there, okay? All right. Well, once you make the decision, you just go out, and what I do and what a lot of people do, especially at the state senate level or at the state representative level, or if you're running for the Board of Selectmen, is you go out and you meet people. You knock on their doors and you say, hi, I'm here, I'm running for state senate, state rep, Board of Selectmen, whatever it may be, and I want to introduce myself and tell you why I'm running. And you just keep doing that. And then you put out signs and you put ads in the newspaper and you do those types of things to get what they call your message out. And that's how you do it. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. All right, well, thank you very much. And I look forward, hopefully you'll all come into the State House when you're in 6th grade. We always have a great time. You're always welcome. We always learn a lot, and hopefully you do too. Thank you.
Hold on.
We just have one last quick presentation. Quickly. Make sure you speak nice and loud. Yep.
Okay.
Nice and loud.
It is tradition that the South School honors one Holbrook community member each year at Student Government Day in recognition of their dedication towards civic duty and community involvement. This year, we'd like to honor our Student Council Advisor, Mrs. Mary Clawher.
Mrs. Clawher is the creator and advisor for South School Civic Club. This year, the Civics Club has developed into one of the most popular clubs at South School and currently has over 60 students participating. Over the past few years, Mrs. Clawher worked with students and Civics Club to spearhead the Bulldogs Don't Bully campaign, which has received state recognition and awards from state officials. Mrs. Clawher has also spent many afternoons volunteering her time on various projects for Soldiers Club and Student Council. As the advisor for Student Council, she has planned and organized Student Government Day each year, implemented several school-wide fundraisers, and encouraged and educated us as students to become active citizens within our town.
Not only is she invested in making South School a better place, she's also spent countless hours keeping our music and drama programs alive with the entire district. You can often find her at 9 p.m. or even later at the high school working with students from the drama and music department.
This fall, Ms. Clawher has also devoted a lot of time to educating students, parents, and Holbrook citizens on voter registration for the upcoming election. With the help from Student Council, Ms. Clawher has registered several new voters for the town of Holbrook.
We honored. Hold on. Okay. We are honored to have her as our Student Council Advisor and want to thank her for all that she has done and continues to do to make the entire Holbrook School District and Holbrook community such a great place. At this time, we'd like to thank Ms. Clawher to come up, and we have a little gift to honor her with.
I'm just going to say one thing. The students in Holbrook are the reason that we all do what we do, and why you guys deserve a new school, why you deserve a beautiful auditorium and wonderful classrooms and things to do all these activities in, and you guys are the reason that we do what we do. So it's really, you should get the round of applause.